Greetings, my friends, and welcome back to another video. My name is Carrie, and I guide people through their journeys in spiritual awakening, healing, and empowerment. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you my top 7 empowerment tools to support spiritual awakening. But before I do that, let's recap a little bit about what spiritual awakening is. Spiritual awakening is a natural process of the evolution of the soul, marked by shifts in consciousness and awareness that awaken us to dimensions of reality previously unrealized. And so it's the process of waking up. It's the process of expanding into new awarenesses of consciousness and possibilities that come with that. Spiritual awakening is basically a shift that happens from operating on an unconscious level to more of a conscious level. But when we have spiritual awakening, what are we awakening to? We're awakening to our true essence, the higher realms of who we are as unlimited, eternal, spiritual beings, souls, eternal souls. And why? Why do we want to awaken spiritually? Because when we are more awake and aware, the more able we are to actualize our highest and fullest potentials as humans. So there's going to be more about that in future videos. After I make this video right now, I'm actually going to do another video that explores the initial signs and stages of spiritual awakening, and so I will link that to this video as well. So let's go ahead and get into my countdown of the top 7 empowerment tools for spiritual awakening. Now, these top 7 tools that I'm sharing with you, or practices, are the ones that I really find to be core essential practices that anybody who's on a journey of a spiritual awakening needs to have, really. And so let's get into it. So number 7 empowerment tool or practice for spiritual awakening is movement. Any form of physical movement. This can include hiking, walking, biking, yoga, tai chi, qigong, any type of movement, dance that you enjoy. Movement is a super empowering way to shift energies. It is proven that movement, physical movement, is the best way to discharge stress from the body on a cellular level. And it's also the best way to get your life force energy flowing and circulating healthfully through your physical body and your energy bodies. So for those of you who know me personally, you know that I am a lifelong mover. I've been on a path of the yogini my entire life. I've been teaching yoga since the year 2000, but I started practicing yoga, I believe, in 1994, and I've been a professional dancer and dance teacher my whole life as well. Why do you think I've been involved with those things in my life? Because as a highly intuitive, spiritual being, movement practices have really supported my own healing journey and my journey through awakening and empowerment. And so it can be any form of movement that you love, but consistency is the key. So at least a few times a week, getting in some form of movement. It can be even working out with the intention of discharging stagnant energies from the body and revitalizing the life force energy in your body. So with that, let's move on to number 6. Number 6 on my list in my countdown is community. So for those of you who are on a path of spiritual awakening, which is a lot of us these days with everything that's going on in the world, in fact, everything that's going on in the world right now is definitely supporting like a mass awakening of consciousness, which is what has inspired me to do this video today. So for those of us who are on that journey, maybe we've been on that journey for a while, you've already had the experience of realizing that as you are growing and expanding, there's a natural shift that happens around your circle of friends, your community. And this is a very natural, normal thing that is nothing to be ashamed of, nothing to resist. In fact, it's good to just embrace it, allow it, and support it. So this happens with all kinds of relationships, not only intimate relationships, but friends, family, coworkers, whatever. You're going to find that as you grow into expanded awareness, you're either going to have people around you that are also growing in their awareness, and there will continue to be a nice harmonious vibrational match, or not. And so sometimes it does happen that you are growing and expanding in ways that your circle of friends may not be experiencing, and you're naturally going to feel a compelling towards, well, I used to love hanging out with this person, but now I don't really love hanging out with them so much. It's not that you're doing something wrong. It's not that there's something negative going on. You're just growing and your energy is shifting. So it's really important when you're in this phase of spiritual awakening to find ways to cultivate positive, supportive community so that you have a sense of community to connect with as you are moving through your journey, so that you can share things with people, learn and grow and all of that. So the two sources that I like to recommend for, ways to start cultivating positive, supportive community, one could be a yoga studio. Yoga studios are full of people who are investing in their holistic well-being. And this is the kind of community you want to cultivate around yourself. It's possible that you could also find that around a martial arts studio. You could find it around perhaps a metaphysical bookstore or gift store. Metaphysical boutiques are good resources for finding out what types of conscious events are happening in your local community, and then participating in those things with the intention of not only learning, but making new friends. So this is a really important part of your journey, is really cultivating positive, supportive community in which you can have a space to share, learn, and grow and support one another. So moving on to number 5 in the countdown is sacred space. Cultivating sacred space, especially in your home environment. Create your home environment to be a reflection of the aspects of yourself that you want to empower, activate, and energize, and allow your space to be an organized, clean, harmonious, peaceful, sacred space that you feel comfortable to return to in the evenings after your day, as a space that is nurturing and rejuvenative to you. So a practice that you could do with creating sacred space, obviously, is, taking a weekend to optimize the vibe in your home. Clear away clutter, clear clutter out of closets, organize, fluff up your pillows, sage, create ambience for yourself, create an environment that is supportive and conducive to the path of growth and awakening that you are on, and you will find yourself really sort of growing leaps and bounds when you have that fundamental support, especially for people who are empathic and energetically sensitive, which I'm willing to bet that most of you on a journey of awakening are. We are influenced by energy, and that includes the energy of our own home. So take some time to revitalize the sacred space in your home and utilize that as a nurturing gift for yourself that supports your journey. Okay, number 4, and this is one of my specialties that I will be posting more videos about in the future, so make sure to tune in, maybe, obviously subscribe, so that you get notices of these videos that I'll be uploading. But, okay, developing intuition. So most of you who know me know I am a professional psychic reader. Teaching people how to develop their intuition is one of my specialties. But why is this an important tool on the journey of spiritual awakening? Because our intuition is meant to be accurate, and it is meant for us to use it as like a honing device, our radar, our navigation system in moving forward in life. And so taking some time to cultivate your intuition is super duper helpful on your journey. So again, I already do have some videos on my channel about intuition and developing your intuition, and I will be making more series of videos about that as well. So stay tuned. Okay, number 3, another one of my specialties, energy healing modalities. Okay, this is what happens on the path of spiritual awakening. We have awakening, which oftentimes compels us to be on a healing journey, and then that leads us to integration and empowerment. So for a while, we're going to be on the cycle of awakening, healing, integrating, empowerment. Awakening, healing, integrating, and empowerment. So spiritual awakening happens in cycles and phases. It's not typically like a one-time instantaneous thing that happens and that's it. You could very well have an initial spiritual awakening that feels instantaneous or spontaneous, but you are going to have deeper layers of awakening as you're moving through your journey. So we want to learn about various energy healing modalities that we can use to support us on our healing journey. In fact, has been through my own process, through my own healing journey in life, that has led me to becoming the energy healing practitioner that I am today. Personally, I love all things that are connected to shamanic healing, and that includes yoga and yoga practices, because the shamanic teachings are ancient. Shamanism is connected to the roots of literally every culture in the world, and the teachings and practices are universal. They're things that we can easily integrate into any path that we are on in life. But whatever interests you, there's Reiki, there's working with gemstones, there's aromatherapy. One of my favorite modalities that I find to be extremely healing is breath work, and there's all kinds of other things too. You can just pick a starting point in regard to what your interests are and just sort of explore down the rabbit hole of however that takes you. And I will be doing a series of videos on my channel that are including various types of healing modalities. This would include doing shadow work, inner child work. And so I'll be doing videos that teach about what these modalities are, and then I'll be offering guided meditations to guide you through the processes yourselves. So stay tuned for those. But learning energy healing modalities is something that you can start with right away, that's going to give you a little bit of a head start, so that when you feel or you realize that there are some things coming up for you that you want to integrate or clear or bring into balance, you're going to have some modalities to work with that will help you. There's a lot of things that you can do on your own without a practitioner, and then there's some things that practitioners would be good to work with practitioners as well. So okay, number 2, mindfulness. Okay, what is mindfulness? Mindfulness is the practice of presence and awareness in the now moment without judgment around your thoughts, feelings, body sensations, ideas, states of being, through the lens of compassionate self-love. I hope that made sense. So mindfulness practices are basically practices where you are being self-observing. You are being conscious of observing what is arising within you throughout the day. This can include triggers that happen. This can include epiphanies of awarenesses as well. But being mindful, being present of all that rises up within you is going to give you the insights that you need to guide and compel yourself forward most efficiently on your healing journey. And then lastly, number 1 is meditation. Why meditation? Because meditation is the key to everything else in this countdown that we've talked about today. Meditation is the key practice, the number 1 practice that's going to teach you or guide you through understanding how to be more present and conscious and aware with yourself. There's all kinds of things that you can do with all kinds of different meditations. We will be exploring many of these on this channel, so stay tuned again. But start exploring meditation and what meditation is. I like to explain meditation as a process of listening to your silent knowing, listening to your inner truth, listening to your intuition, listening to what might feel like messages coming from the divine. Meditation is listening, observing, and it leads to awareness, which then will lead to healing and lead to integration and lead to empowerment. So you can see maybe why I am choosing meditation as the number 1 empowerment tool to support spiritual awakening. So if you have questions, feel free to write them in the comments section below and I will respond to them. If you'd like to see some of what we've talked about today in a more expanded description or video, then I'm happy to do that as well. Just let me know what your suggestions are. And I will see you in the next video. Blessings, namaste, much love.